I'll be home for Christmas. You can count on me. Please have snow and mistletoe and presents by the tree. Christmas Eve will find me where the love light gleams. Oh, I'll be home for Christmas, if only in my dream. Christmas. You can plan on me. Oh, please have snow and mistletoe and presents by the tree. Oh, Christmas Eve will find me where that love light it gleams. Oh, so I'll be home for Christmas, if only in my dream.
Good morning. Let's all stand and sing some Christmas music.
Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains, and the mountains in reply, echoing their joyous strains. Gloria in excelsis Dei. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Shepherds, why this jubilee? Why your joyous strains prolong? Say what may the tidings be which inspire your heavenly song? Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Come to Bethlehem and see him whose birth the angels sing. Come adore on bended knee Christ the Lord, the newborn King. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. I'm not holding it in anymore. I'm gonna shout it out loud. I understand now what I'm here for, and what this life is about. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand. Oh, lending a hand. So swing wide the door, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. There's a voice that I've heard word for years. I learned to keep it inside. Well, now it's coming in loud and clear. I want a deeper life. Oh, it's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand, lending a hand. Oh, swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. So bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's good to see all of you here this morning, whether you are with us here in this room, whether you are in our online balconies right now on Facebook or YouTube, or you catch us sometime in the future. I'm Reverend Eileen Stulak, and I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday and holiday weekend. So far, it's not over yet. Our senior minister, Reverend Jackie, is taking this one more day of the holiday season to be with her family. She'll be back in the offices this week and back here with all of us next Sunday.
So I'm here this morning, standing up here, pretending to be Jackie.
There you go. There you go. Tell a bad joke.
Oh man. So my bad joke is that I don't have a bad joke, but I should have planned one. So there's that. But instead, I'll introduce myself. I'm Reverend Jen Hutchins. It is my honor to be up here with y'all today. And I'm so excited that I'm here on a day when Willis White is back. Thank you, Willis. And thank you to our UCOT band, to Reverend Fred, to James Albright, Terry Swope, Andy Hamilton, and Stacy on ASL today. Thank you all for being here.
And so we're going to start as we always do, and that is with a prayer. So let's just take that moment to turn within, that intentional step to greet Spirit within us. And on this day, we do so as we also enter into the season of Advent. This is a season for preparation and reflection, for excitement, anticipation, for opening to all the possibilities of Spirit. And so we set that intention for ourselves right now, to just be open to what we expect as well as the unexpected, to prepare a place within ourselves to foster new growth, a new awakening of the Christ presence within us. And as we do this for ourselves, we also do it for all people everywhere. Wherever anyone is on the planet in this moment, may they also feel that internal nudge, or feel a warmth of a light that's begun to shine within them, knowing that they too are never alone, and all possibilities of good are their inherent rights. And so we can claim this and affirm it by standing firmly in one of the most powerful statements of spiritual truth unity has offered to this world. Would you join with me in affirming? There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, the source of all good.
As we hold that knowing of truth in our hearts, we bring to our minds and our hearts now those who have asked for prayer support from this community and from this ministry. We bring all those who are moving through times of transition of any sort, knowing that sometimes in those experiences we need that extra love and support of our community, our family, and of knowing that that one power, one presence is always with us through it all. We bring into our hearts Betty Cook, whose sister made her transition this week. And Betty is out of town with family. So we hold her in our hearts. We hold her in our prayers, affirming that that divine love is there to bring comfort and peace in times when our hearts feel the very weight of being human. May they be lifted, too, into the knowing of our divinity, into our oneness, into the completion of the cycles of life. For all the prayers that have been spoken, for all those that we hold in our hearts, we say thank you, God, for peace, for comfort, and for your ever-present love. Amen.
Amen. And so now let's join with unity communities all around the globe in speaking the joint vision statement of our unity movement. A world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And with the onset of Advent, we also bring back our ritual of lighting an Advent candle each of the 4 Sundays of this season leading up to Christmas. And this morning, we're thrilled to have James Masters and Matt Cole Masters to come forward to share a reading and to light our first candle.
Hope and Faith by Reverend Maggie Alderman, Director of Unity Prayer Ministry. Part of what makes the Christmas season so magical is how we manage to light up the world seemingly out of thin air. One moment we were settled into the early, darker days of winter, and the next, lights begin to appear on homes and public spaces, inspiring awe and wonder across generations.
This act of bringing light into a darkened world moves us deeply. Light becomes more than decoration. It becomes a symbol, a beacon of hope. It reminds us that we have enough inner resources to endure temporary darkness. We have the faith to move through this season that represents a new birth, an awakening of our Christ consciousness.
Faith in particular plays an active role during Advent. Without it, we may lack the courage to embark on the journey of inner transformation that the season invites. Here we can take a literal page from the story of Jesus' birth. There is nothing in the narrative that suggests ease or certainty. Every character in the story steps into the unknown, and what we do not know or understand, we often fear.
And yet, whether it's an angel's message or the light of a star guiding the way, faith is the thread that holds the story together. Perhaps that's why we, as light bringers, take such care and pride in lighting up our world each Christmas. The glow stirs cherished memories from the past while also serving a present-day metaphor. A single light can transform darkness into clarity, fear into faith, the unknown into the familiar. This Advent season, may we resist the temptation to shrink in the shadow of fear. Instead, let us follow the courage of Mary, Joseph, the shepherds, and the wise men, who each responded to Spirit's call. Let us step forward in faith, trusting that the light we offer is exactly what the world needs right now.
And we affirm together, I have faith that I am divinely guided. And we light this candle for hope and faith.
When I think of home, I think of a place where love overflowing. I wish I was home, I wish I was back there with the things that I've been knowing. Oh, when that makes the tall trees bend into leaning, suddenly the raindrops that fall, they have a meaning, sprinkling the sea, and makes it all so clean. Maybe there's a chance for me to go back there, now that I have some direction. It would sure be nice to be back at home, where there's love and affection. Oh, and maybe I can just convince time to slow up, giving me enough time in my life to grow up. So time, be my friend. Oh, and let me start again. Oh, suddenly my world's gone and changed its face, and I still know where I'm going. I have had my mind spun around in space, and yet I've watched it growing. Oh, and if you're listening, God, please don't make it hard to know if we should believe the things that we see. Tell us, should we run away? Should we try to stay? Or would it be better just to let things be? Oh, living here in this brand new world might be a fantasy. Oh, but it's taught me to love. So I tell you, it's real, it's real, it's so real to me. And I've learned that we must look inside our hearts to find, oh, a world full of love, like yours, like yours, like yours, like mine, like, oh, yes, like home.
Oh, we have missed you, Willis. All right. So last Sunday, Reverend Jackie shared an announcement about the Advent season and the Sunday series that begins today. And she said that we were going to take a little bit of a different look at Advent this year. Different in that while we will, of course, still have as a foundational piece of the season the biblical story of Jesus' birth and such, she also said that we're going to expand upon that story, and it would be an expansion of cosmic proportion. So to begin this, I'd like to just read the brief summary that I wrote that was used for our online promotions for today's service and the message in particular, just to give us a starting point for this message. And I said that a cosmic advent expands the traditional 4-week Christian tradition to that of a universal spiritual rhythm, a period when the whole cosmos invites awakening, expectancy, and emergence of divine potential. We step into this rhythm by creating a cradle of hope, a hope not based on conditions, but spiritual hope, the trust that there is a divine pattern unfolding even in the silence and the darkness. Now, the words that hit me most clearly in writing that were universal spiritual rhythm. There was something about this idea of a cosmic advent that was beginning to feel like this lovely dance unfolding. You know, the rhythm between the traditional story of Jesus' human birth and the cosmic shift in consciousness he brought with him into this world, especially relative to our becoming aware of our own innate divinity. There's the rhythm between the invitation to awaken to that divinity and our role in creating a space for it to happen. The rhythm between being cognizant of worldly affairs and a trust that even in, and perhaps especially in, the times of darkness, the times of silence, Spirit is always present, moving in, around, and through and as us. You know, the word Advent itself means arriving or coming into being. And so when we view that on more of a cosmic level, we're saying that, yes, we individually arrive in this human form. We come into being as part of an expansive universe that is inclusive of all creation. That we arrive with all of those divine qualities of Spirit already present within us, and when we come into being, so too are those qualities of love and light and kindness and so forth being brought and born into the universe. And so this rhythm, this dance, can create and frame a few spiritual truths for us. First being that the universe is still unfolding. The creation is ongoing. And spiritual birth happens repeatedly within us. You know, some might say that Advent did not begin back at the time of Jesus' birth in Bethlehem, but that Advent began the moment, the instant this universe burst into being. And so if a cosmic advent is this universal spiritual rhythm, God's ongoing movement in the universe, then our role is to participate in that movement, to create a space to receive and to nurture whatever new birth that movement wants to bring forth from within us and through us into this world and into this universe. And so our participation begins today as we turn to that divine quality of hope. You know, hope doesn't always get the same attention as faith during the Advent season. Sometimes I don't think it gets as much attention on any day of the year as compared to hope. I've been in many conversations over the years where some would express the belief or the thought that hope is less than faith, or that faith is better than hope. And there's another really interesting distinction made between the two in one of Unity's most popular metaphysical dictionaries titled The Revealing Word. It was written by our co-founder, Charles Fillmore. That book includes 13 different definitions and applications of faith that take up 4 pages of the book. Hope, in that same book, is defined in 2 sentences. So we're going to give some props to hope today. Now, I said just a moment ago that our participation in this cosmic advent involved creating that space relative to receiving and nurturing a new birth that wants to come forth from us as Spirit, moves in us and through us. And so why am I calling that place a cradle today? Because a cradle in us is what the manger was for Jesus. It's a container. It's a place for new life to be placed. And it's also a place of tenderness and vulnerability and innocence. It's a place of growth from within. And so symbolically, the cradle this Advent is that inner space within us that is our personal space of emergence. It's the space where those divine ideas and the guidance and the possibilities can rest until they become visible and take form in our lives. So before we go any further, I'd like to name a few misunderstandings that can sometimes crop up when we start thinking about our capacity, our ability to experience spiritual growth. These misunderstandings that say in order for us to experience spiritual growth, our cradle must be finely polished in a very well-prepared place. That it be neat and perfectly made, and that our lives must be fully in order. Now, if any of those ideas come to you or anything like that, please just gently set them aside and bring back into your mind that traditional foundational story of Jesus' birth. Just remind yourself that Jesus, that this Christ child was not born in the center of power or a palace. He was born in a stable. That stable was a forgotten place. It was a humble place, and a place that no one expected to matter at all. And the Christ in you is often, if not always, born in the humble centers of consciousness, those places that we may not think are holy enough to receive and nurture and then give birth to divine ideas of spirit. So let's begin our construct of a cradle of hope by checking in with Mary and Joseph again. See, Mary and Joseph fully expected to bring Jesus into this world inside the warmth and comfort of an inn. And at the very same time, they did not overlook the stable. And they were able to see that stable because it has an essentially important element of the cradle, and that is humility. Humility is another one of those words that gets a bad rap sometimes. It's not an extremely popular word in our culture, which is why we want to take it out of the culture and move it into our spirituality and our growth. Because within that spiritual frame, humility is not self-deprecation. It is not believing or thinking less of ourselves. It is becoming a space that spirit can fill. From that spiritual perspective, what we're doing is we're taking our human ego. We all have one. They vary widely in size, but we are taking our human ego and we are right-sizing it. We loosen it a bit. We soften our personal agendas. We allow our plans to begin to dissolve a little bit into openness and willingness and teachability and ability to let go of any need to control. It's there that humility is birthed and becomes that cradle. It becomes the posture of the soul, a place where hope can rest and grow and truly receive divine birth. Through humility, we make room in ourselves for our true self, that Christ presence to emerge. And that kind of humility is often birthed in experiences that aren't always comfortable. It gets born in those moments when life doesn't go as planned. It gets birthed perhaps in times of transition where we are no longer who we were and yet not yet what we're becoming. And many times it shows up in those eerily quiet seasons of darkness when we feel like, even believe that the entire world has moved on without us. Over the years, I've heard many people, when speaking to me about being in those places in their lives and feeling that they just don't know what to do, they have no idea what step to take next. They're just going to go home and they're going to sit and they're going to wait to get hit by that cosmic 2x4. I urge you, if that idea ever comes to mind, let it go. I have never liked that phrase. It gives me the feeling that God's just yelling at me and using very harsh words in the process. And a cosmic 2x4 has no place in a cosmic Advent. Because it's in those uncomfortable places that Advent begins. It begins in the silence. It begins in the waiting and in the anticipation and in the expectancy. It begins in the unknown and in the uncertainty. The universe does not shout and yell its new beginnings. It whispers them. And humility allows us to hear. Another element necessary to foster and prepare for new birth is nourishment. Now, we could easily list some very obvious sources of spiritual nourishment. We can say that we get spiritually fed when we gather in community, just like we're doing right now. Or that we've received it when we've sat down to read some scripture or to spend some time in prayer. Or we've been on the receiving end of one of those wonderful acts of kindness. But there are also some sources that might seem or feel not so obvious, not so automatic for us. Like taking what I always tend to use, intentional time. Taking intentional time to be, really literally be in the silence. To sit in the darkness, to honor and tap into our own intuition. Or if it comes from the resilience that shows up that we never thought we had or believed we could have. Or in the small blessings that we overlook when we're seeking out the bigger miracles. And nourishment is also not so obvious, not so easy to be seen when we feel unseen, when we feel forgotten, when those inner wells seem very, very dry and barren. We've all likely had a season or seasons like that in our lives, right? And some of us may be in one of those seasons right now today. But for those that are in our past, being here today means we lived through them, that we're on the other side of them. And if we have taken or choose today to take the time to look back at them, we often can see with very clear vision that something was there feeding us, nourishing us the entire time. One of my favorite television programs right now is the current version of Matlock. Actor Kathy Bates plays Maddie. She's a lawyer who goes undercover at the law firm she holds responsible for the death of her daughter due to an opioid addiction. And she wants to expose them, and she wants to obtain justice for her daughter. Well, in the most recent episode, Maddie was helping defend a group of nuns whose ministry was focused on helping those with addictions. And it was bringing up a lot of very dark and painful memories for her. And she made it known to the nuns very early on that any relationship she had with God had long since sailed. And so there came a scene where Maddie and one of the nuns is sitting in the courtroom, and the nun tells her how sorry she is for whatever it was that caused Maddie to lose her faith, to lose her relationship with God. And Maddie says, well, it was the death of her daughter. The nun tries to offer some comforting words to her, but Maddie cuts her off immediately and sarcastically says, God is near the brokenhearted, restores the crushed in spirit. Yeah, didn't feel him near. To which the nun gently replies, and yet, you survived the unimaginable. You think he left you. I think he left you standing. Put the right people on your path so you didn't remain broken forever. There was no quick comeback. No sarcastic retort from Maddie, no words at all, but you could see the countenance changed. Eyes appearing to start to water a little bit. There was a softening to her usual razor-sharp edge. You see, something new was moving in her that had her full attention. Now, placing that television scene into our Advent story for today, I could imagine that in that moment, it was as if a light had broken through onto some of the darkest seasons and memories in Maddie's life, and that she saw through that light that perhaps he hadn't left her, that he had been near. And maybe in that moment, there was a little bit of healing taking place, or offering forgiveness didn't seem so hard, or perhaps she saw a greater hope in justice being attained, being born. We've all had our Maddie seasons, and we can all have our Maddie moments this holiday season. Because a cosmic advent includes the idea that the universe spirit quietly nourishes new life long before we recognize it. That the abundant flow of unlimited possibilities of strength, resilience, joy, peace, they're always available, even when the outer circumstances appear empty of anything to offer. Hope is what gets born when divine possibility meets human openness. Jesus' birth brought hope into the world. And it was a new hope. It was a joyful hope. But the announcement of that joy was not made before kings or people of power and status. They weren't open to hearing it. Hope showed up that night on the margins, outside of the city, outside of the systems, outside of any human expectations. And hope can be born through us in the very same way. We look in our cradle and we find that dream we tucked away a long time ago. Or we see that inner room that we haven't visited for a while. It'll emerge from parts of us that we've abandoned, or perhaps through grief that's not yet fully tended. We'll find it in the most unexpected and perhaps forgotten places. And we will recognize it when we see it as a gift of God, because it is something that we could not have possibly manufactured through human will alone. We'll see it, and we will send it forth from a cradle crafted in humility and nourished in secret, knowing that it will find its way and be received by those who need it most. We're part of this cosmic story. And the last page of today's chapter is one that contains an invitation, and it's a very personalized, individualized invitation to each of you. And it's to consider how you might do your part, step into that movement of spirit in preparation for the next birth of spiritual growth in you. Because this season, it's not merely about waiting for something outside of us to arrive. It is about awakening to what is already forming within. And so what if this Advent season, instead of asking questions, you spent that time simply preparing room for that growth? What if, instead of worrying whether or not you have enough faith, you choose to trust that Spirit is always at work, and especially in the hidden areas of your life? What if that you believe that hope is unfolding, being born in you, even now, in those places where you feel the most uncomfortable? Over these 4 weeks of Advent, spend some of that intentional time in the silence, even in the absolute darkness, and do a gentle inventory. Is there room at the inn within you for new birth? And if not, do some decluttering. It could be a physical decluttering of your space where you live, or you can declutter your emotions, your mental outlooks, your spiritual beliefs. See what no longer belongs where it still is. Make room for that unexpected. Maybe reopen some of those doors that have been closed for a while. And nourish yourself. Nourish yourself with that which feeds your soul. Meditate. Maybe it's healthy nutrition, or just laughing, being with family or friends, writing, dancing, singing. Find or create prayers that affirm openness and willingness and just a joyful anticipation in life, and use those prayers. Speak those affirmations daily. And hold on to hope. Because just like a spark ignites a flame, hope is the spark that ignites your heart, even when the whole world seems to have dimmed its light. God bless you. Okay, I'm just going to invite us all to just move into a time of prayer. Fred is not feeling very well at the moment, and we're going to do what we need to give him the time and the care that he needs. And so let's just take a moment to be in that silence, to send our healing and comforting prayers to Reverend Fred, knowing that all is unfolding as it should, that full care and support is present, on its way, in whatever form necessary. So let's just take a moment in the silence. And so we release these prayers. We send them on their way, surrounding, enfolding Fred and Susan, affirming that they feel the presence of Spirit all around them. And whatever answers are unknown at this point, we let go of any attachment or concern about that as well. We know this universe of ours has kicked into high gear to bring all the care and support necessary. We trust in that. We trust in life. We trust in Spirit. And so it is. Amen. Good. You just go.
Now, as we move in this space of hope and of love, we come together to share our gifts. As we have shared our gift of prayer, we invite in the knowing that infinite universe, divine potential unfolding right now in, as, and through each and every one of us. And we bring this loving blessing into our giving, our time, our talents, our treasures. For it is our hope that this community be a beacon of light that supports everyone here, and a beacon of light that supports our community. So please take this opportunity to hold your love offering in your hand or in your heart and join with me as we say our blessing. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And I am joy-filled and grateful.
I'm going. I've been asking for all my life. I've grown tired of all this wandering when everything seems to turn out right. So when my mind needs something to do, wants to know the future, I whisper, I'm okay. I've always been, and I'll always be that way. So here goes nothing. I'm taking my chance. I'm opening up, knowing that I'm in good hands. And here goes everything. It's all on the line. Oh, but I'm not afraid this time. Yeah. Now some say I'm crazy, some say naive, to close my eyes and take that leap. But I know better, 'cause I believe even in the dark my soul can see. So when my mind plays its usual games, oh, my answer is always the same. Oh, here goes nothing. I'm taking my chance. I'm opening up, knowing that I'm in good hands. And here goes everything. It's all on the line. Yes, but I'm not afraid this time. So here goes nothing. I'm taking my chance. I'm opening up, knowing that I'm in good hands. And here goes everything. It's all on the line. Oh, but I'm not afraid this time. No, I'm not afraid this time. No, I'm not afraid this time. 'Cause I'm okay, I'll always be, and I'll always be that way, saying I'm okay, and you've always been, and you'll always be that way.
Oh, that was loud.
Right.
That stage welcomed us loudly. Hi, I'm Tiffany,
And I'm James.
and we have just a few announcements for you. The first is that our Yarn Blessings group will be meeting next Sunday, which is December 7th at 12:30 in the afternoon in the cafe. So bring along whatever cozy craft you're working on this holiday season and come enjoy some creative community with other people.
Join us throughout this Christmas season. Our Advent series continues through December 21st, including a rock and roll Sunday in the morning of the 14th, and our special healing light service with Kelly Hunt that evening at 7 p.m. Willis White joins us for our Christmas Eve candlelight service at 5 p.m. And on December 28th, we'll close out the year together with our annual Burning Bowl ceremony to help you welcome the new year with intention.
And also this holiday season, we have been partnering with our friends at the Shawnee Mission Unitarian Universalist Church, otherwise known as Smooch, to host a winter coat and winter wear drive and also a food drive at both of our locations. So they're joining with us in this drive. Going on now through December 24th, we're inviting you to donate any gently used or new coats, hats, scarves, gloves, and even some grocery items. We've collected everything here, and then we'll arrange for it to be delivered to the church down the street for distribution. I happen to be your point person for this drive, so you can chat with me after the service if you have any questions.
On December 21st, we're delighted to welcome Patricia Bahia, an award-winning songwriter and performer, as our guest soloist. Following the service from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m., she'll offer her workshop, Healing Circle of Song, Music Medicine for the Soul. In this 90-minute experience, Patricia will guide participants through group exercises designed to calm the nervous system and foster joy and community. You'll leave ready to move into the holiday season with deeper presence and greater joy. The suggested offering for this class is $20. You can sign up in the Community Connections room or online using the link in our e-news.
So also be sure to check out our website and subscribe to that e-news so that you can get all of this information ahead of time and all about all of the activities taking place here at the ministry. And so now will you please join with me in speaking our mission statement together. Unity Church of Overland Park transforms lives and empowers people to make a difference in the world. And
now let's bless the UCOP kids.
The UCOP kids.
Yeah.
Amy's in the back of the room. She's with our youngest children every week when they're with us. So Amy, we bless you, and we hold those kids in our hearts. And so let's just speak together the unity blessing and send it out to all of the kids. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold the Christ as you. And before I do the closing announcements, just to give you a little update on Reverend Fred. The last I heard is that he was out there with his wife Susan and Ruth Ann Tannery, who is a longtime nurse. The ambulance had arrived. Fred was feeling, many of you might recall, last year or so, year and a half ago, he had some AFib issues going on, and so they're assessing him to see whether he will be taken to the ER to just get looked at by the ambulance, or whether he's in condition to where Susan can transport him. And so we will just continue to stay in touch with them, and just of course invite everyone to continue to hold him and Susan and their family in your prayers. Okay. And so, Willis White, thank you again so much for being here with us today. It was wonderful to have you back. And we want to recognize one last Sunday in November, our volunteer team of the month. That is our group leaders. These are our affinity group leaders, our small group leaders. So if any of you are in the room, would you please stand so that we can give you one last hurrah and thank you for all that you do. Please join us next week as we continue our movement through the Advent season, which we are calling Born for This, a Cosmic Advent. Reverend Jackie will be back, and we'll welcome Reverend Chris Jackson to return. He's going to continue the series with a message that he's entitled Peace, the Silence That Heals. And very quickly, our men's group meeting for the month is coming up this coming Saturday, December the 6th. They begin preparing breakfast around 8:15. Doors will be open at that time. The meeting and conversation will begin at 9 a.m. And so now let's join in our closing song. And for this season of Advent, at least for today, we are going to close with the peace song today.
On earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in my solemn vow to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And now let's join together for our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a wonderful day. No go Chiefs today, right? Oh, go Steelers. How's that?